I was at a holiday party and I heard the thing that no woman wants to hear. I walk in and I'm wearing my Miss Claus outfit. I walk into the group and it's a workout community that I have been working out with on and off for over a year now. One of the women in the group says, "Hey, don't take this the wrong way, but you look so much different in your pictures online than you do in person." And then another woman chimes in, "Hey, yeah, I totally agree. It took me months to realize that it was even you. And it's not in a bad way, but you just look a lot different." And I replied how I have replied in the past. I remember when I was on the Camino doing that trek, I was not wearing a stitch of makeup the whole time. And my WhatsApp photo was me at a photo shoot, fully made up. And I remember one of the guys saying, "You look so much better now than in the photo." People will make their attributions of what's better, what's worse, whatever. But this isn't really about that. It's not about catfishing because I will acknowledge that when I have makeup on versus when I don't, it's not like one is way better or worse. It's just different, right? However, it got me thinking about consistency in our relationships and building community, and how, if my desire is to feel the most connected that I can feel and to create a sense of consistency with people that I know in my life or that I'm getting to know better, it makes sense to pick a camp. Is it going to be makeup free, maybe baggy clothes, whatever? Don't really care. Or is it going to be doing a bold lip every day, doing a cat eye? And when I can, maybe wearing my contacts instead of my glasses. This is a component of personal branding, but beyond that, it's about being connected in your own community. Because if we existed in a vacuum, we could just go on YouTube, batch schedule videos, and be like, okay, this one day a week when I do videos, I'm going to dress and present myself a certain way. And then if I go to the gym, if I go to the grocery store, if I go to a meetup, anything goes. So to be clear, I have gotten the opposite feedback on dates, where let's say if we were to meet from an online dating app, usually it's, "Oh, you look the same as your photos." Or maybe even a compliment like, "Oh, you look better in person." So receiving those comments really sort of threw me for a loop because I realized, wow, these people, who knows, maybe I could have been better friends if they only could tell who I was. Oftentimes we meet up with people in these communities and maybe we say our first name in person. And then if we go online and there's a little bit of a disconnect. So this isn't to say that I am going to go to a workout event in full makeup, do my hair or whatever, wear jewelry even. Maybe what that means is there's a greater level of consistency with some things that I decide are my classic. So a bold lip is pretty standard. It's most likely going to be a pink shade. I have a variety of workout clothes. Some are cute and some are more, I don't give a fuck. So maybe it's wearing more of the cute ones more often. I hadn't really experienced this before I had a professional photo shoot done, where there's the makeup artist doing your makeup professionally. You're wearing false eyelashes. You have your hair curled in that curly way that I always think is amazing, but I have not yet been able to actually do on my own. So while it's fun, and I do think it really elevates a brand presence, using pictures where people can't tell that you're the same individual because you're a little more low key, I believe that that's a call to either have more pictures of yourself where it's like, "Hey, this is how I show up on a daily basis, at a networking event, at the gym, or whatever, there's going to be a through line," or rise to the standard that you've set with these new photos. So that's actually something that in this new year, I'm going to be more intentional about, because in this new city, I've been here for just over a year and a half now. And it's taken me a little longer than usual to plug in. And I do think there are a few factors here, and I wonder if you can relate. So during COVID, for example, putting a little less effort into your appearance. I know I was in my robe a lot more often. And when you're spending less time getting ready, putting the extra effort in, going out on a night on the town or whatever it may be, then yeah, there's that opportunity to have a disconnect in how you're showing up and people putting a face to the name. So what if we were to treat life like a photo shoot, like a date, and put just that little extra bit of effort that perhaps in recent years we've let slide on by. I know for me, even going from being in a major city to being in a less major city, that has been another factor for me, just kind of like relaxing a little bit more. And making sure that we all are finding that nice balance between living that soft, nourishing, nurturing life, but also being consistent with exercise, being consistent with the little touches that make us feel like the most elevated versions of ourselves in this 3D reality. So, yeah, I wanted to share this story. Well, not just to call myself out, but also to perhaps start this inner dialogue. Hey, put it in the comments so we can actually have a back and forth about what it means to be memorable physically, because I think that that does play more of a role than some of us would like to admit. Cody Sanchez recently came out with a video, and one of the stats that she shares is that women who wear makeup are paid 30% more than women that don't. So I think that that's a reason why typically in a branding capacity, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wear makeup. I don't really feel strongly about, well, no, I like my skills should speak for themselves and I'm going to, in defiance, not wear makeup. That's kind of a privilege if we think about Alicia Keys and how she, at the top of her game, decided, I'm just not going to wear makeup anymore. And then guess what? She changed her mind and she wears makeup again. It doesn't need to be masking. It doesn't need to be always about, oh, I have a blemish, cover that up, or that's so unsightly. It can be more fun and creative and about finding what your signature is. Because maybe you relate to me where I like to try on a bunch of different looks and there are a few different archetypes that I tend to sort of hop between. There can be, when I'm in my workout stuff, it's kind of like, okay, here's the workout queen. And then I also like to wear glasses and a low bun upon occasion. So we could be like, okay, more studious or geeky chic, whatever you want to call that. And then when I am glam, and dressed up, maybe in a gown or something that's sort of professional or whatever it is, then there's that other archetype of like, okay, this is kind of like the more elevated version of myself. And another thing I'd like to bring up when it comes to not only being consistent, but being the most elevated version of yourself is, okay, can you scan that QR code? Because, okay, where it leads, one of my friends, it's Anata Design. I'm going to go ahead and link it. So she did my colors. So we've heard about, winter, spring, autumn. So I am a true winter, according to a Fiverr order. This woman in the UK did my colors in that respect. And then according to her, I am bright. So because I'm on the pale side and there's high contrast with darker hair, if I wear bright colors, which I was already kind of doing, then that's going to be most beneficial so that let's say my skin tone and my hair isn't competing with what I'm wearing. Because if I wear something dark, who knows, it could compete with my hair. If I wear something really light, it could be washing out my skin. So yeah, it's kind of cool. The middle ones are my neutrals. Then we have the ones that are going to be best closest to my face. And here's a pro tip. If you do your colors and you find out that you don't have things that are in that color. So for me, I had a lot of tans and nudes and rusty roses, dusty roses. And I realized, oh shoot, that's not in this color wheel. Then what you can do is, as long as you have one of these colors closest to your face. So for example, if I was wearing something that was less than ideal and I really didn't want to give it up, then I could wear this because this is close to my face. And if it had a V-neck, then it's less close to my face. But I mean, if you're really being purist about it, then get rid of those things, donate them or something. And then this outer ring, those are the items you could wear those colors like in a handbag or in a pant or a skirt because they're furthest away from your face. So they're not going to really do you any favors being close to your face, but they're nice complementary colors to the other colors that we see in the circle. So yeah. Hey, and here's my new phone. So anyway, yeah, I know I just had this black case, black phone, and it's so nice that I got this because it added a pop of color that I didn't know I needed. I'd love to hear from you whether you want to just reflect about this or share it, what it means to you to go makeup free versus not. And I'm even thinking back to COVID times where there were so many times when I didn't care. I cared so much less than I normally would have. And I was just going live, being like, hey, I'm traveling. Here's where I am now. It all culminated where I was traveling with minimal belongings, my clothing mismatched, who cares? And then it's like, you know what? No makeup too. Let's just, it was kind of this distribution of priorities. And I can say with confidence that, yeah, I feel fine. I feel like I look good without makeup. However, for consistency's sake, it is more memorable to have a pop of color here and there. So it is a choice that is both part expression and part personal branding, not just for business purposes, but so that people remember me and that we can maintain our connection and our dynamic for longer than an initial meeting out in the world. All right. So there you are, wishing you a beautifully connected day. Until next time.